The Atouch control system's installation starts with the mounting of the Atouch devices on the electrical switchboards. The switchboards must be dimensioned to accommodate the necessary devices, according to the project's specifications, and if possible, with a technical reserve of 20% of the used space for a possible expansion. In this example, we have two electrical switchboards, a main one and a secondary one. The next step is to install the DIN rail modules into the electrical switchboard. We advise on installing dedicated 10 A circuit breakers to power and protect the Atouch modules, the D Gateway 512 volts DC power supply, and the TW Touch panel's 24 volts DC power supply. All Atouch modules must be protected by the same RCD. Now it's time to wire the DIN rail units with phase and neutral, connecting the phase in the terminal block L. And the neutral in the terminal block N. The module responsible for powering the bus is D-bus supply. The communication between Atouch modules is via a single extra wire called the bus line, B. This bus, B, is an active line because is referred to the neutral being the system ground. The bus wire must be white to distinguish it from the others and to avoid errors in the connections, damaging the modules. Wire the bus line B using connector B of each module. It is mandatory have one D-bus supply on each electric switchboard or Atouch modules protected by different RCDs. And how do we interconnect between the Atouch modules? The interconnection must be done by using the isolated bus, located at the bottom of the D-bus supply module. The D-bus supply provides a galvanic isolated bus that has two wires and is isolated from the power line. A JYSTY cable with two pairs of 0.8 square millimeters must be used. Before making the connections, only one D-bus supply must have the drive jumper closed. The drive jumper determines which D-bus supply will be the isolated bus power supply. Using more than one isolated bus power supply can affect communication. It's good practice to define the D-bus supply installed in the main electrical switchboard as the isolated bus power supply. So, keep its jumper closed and open the jumper on the others. After setting up the jumpers, connect the IB of the first bus supply to the IB of the next bus supply. And then connect the IG of the first to the IG of the next. Be sure that all D-bus supply modules are connected through the isolated bus. This will ensure communication between all modules installed on the system. Now it's time to connect the D Gateway 5 to your system, to enable the remote control of your home through the Atouch app. First, power the D Gateway 5 with 0 and 12 volts DC from the power supply. You must use a JYSTY cable. Then connect the isolated bus from D-bus supply into the D Gateway 5, connecting the IG to the IG and the IB to the IB. And last, use a UTP cable to connect the D Gateway 5 to the router. Now that the DIN rail modules are installed, it is recommended to measure the voltages on the bus. Turn on the electrical switchboard and check that both D-bus supply LEDs are green. If any of them are red, it means there is a problem on the bus. To measure the main bus voltage, use a voltmeter with a DC scale. Put the negative test lead on neutral, N, and the positive test lead on bus, B. And check that the values are between 17 to 24 volts DC. Now check the voltages on the isolated bus with the voltmeter on the DC scale. Put the negative test lead on IG and the positive test lead on IB. And check that the values are between 17 to 24 volts DC. If any of the bus lines are outside the expected values, check the installation for any errors. If the problem persists, contact our support team.